We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Monday, February the 6th. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll have a moment of reflection. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Michelle will give us a moment of reflection.
Say that we're thankful today that we can all come together with the Board of Education, with the commissioners, and thankful that we can come together as a community and talk about this this bright new project that's upon us. Thank you.
Thank you. Be seated.
Mr. Chair, we need to call our big door.
Thank you. We need to approve the agenda as submitted.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Raise your hand. We need approval of the motion on the minutes from January the 17th and January the 30th. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your hand. Thank you. I'd like to welcome Alleghany County Board of Education. We're going to get an update on this new expenditure. I think Dr. Beasley's still smiling from the good news from the state, from DPI, of $47 million. And I would certainly hope that that will carry us into the future with a great school system. So with that being said, I will turn it over to Dr. Beasley.
All right, I'm gonna stand up and talk a little bit if that's all right.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, I will. I'll head
Thank
that
you.
way. First of all, thanks for having us tonight, and I know we had some changes in our with our commissioners and our board. One of our board members has been prayers, if you don't mind. But anyway, yeah, we did receive a $47 million grant a few months ago, and with that project, we are trying to build a new high school, and so we are. I know we met back in October, and we talked about that, and we talked a little bit about the auditorium. So Sid's going to give us an update on the auditorium here in a little bit about some costs that we may need to look at for the roof and heating and air and getting the seating done and maybe put in a drop ceiling in there. But I got a couple of I've got a new rendering, and we made copies of that and gave it to you. Can you pull that up, Drew? Yeah. So. This is a little bit more, the one we had before was a little bigger. It wasn't really drawn to scale, but this one is a little bit more drawn to scale. And so just wanted to kind of give you a highlight of what it's going to look like. And we met with the architects again last week and have got a construction drawing basically done. We're about 90% ready to go to blueprints with it. And so anyway, we've got a couple of meetings coming up about the third week of February because we need to meet with child nutrition and start designing the cafeteria, what it's going to look like. We need to talk with some EC teachers and science labs and get those things started. But this kind of just gives you an update of what it's going to look like. And then I asked the architect to maybe give me a couple of renderings of what it's going to look like when we come in the front entrance right here. So I've got a couple of those too. I hope you've got those in front of you. But can you pull that one up, Drew? Or I think there's two of them. So that kind of gives you an idea of looking out of the front entrance. This area over here, that's all right. This area over here on the right, yep, that's a student center. That's the media center, a technology center, and the new cafeteria will be on the left. That next when you come in the front entrance, that's as far as you can get in this building. And you can't go anywhere until you are buzzed in or brought in by somebody in administration. So that's just, I just want to kind of give you an idea of what it may look like inside just in the front entrance, you know. We'll as we get a little closer to finishing up the blueprints, we'll get some 3D drawings done. I'll come share those with you, or you guys can come and visit up there, and we'll share them together. But they just did a project in Scotland County. You know, we've been trying to figure out the cost. That building down there was going to be about $260 a square foot. So that puts us in range of what we're looking at for this. So we hope that's the way things work out. We don't know until we get it bid. We don't have bids. We can't do bids until we get the blueprints done. But I just wanted to come and share that with you, give you an idea of where we're at, and let you know. Like I said, we're about 90% done with the construction prints, and once we get those done and get it finalized, we'll go to blueprint on that. So, any questions or comments or?
Any questions right now? No, go ahead.
All right. So, Sid, I'm going to turn it over. You know, we talked a little bit about the auditorium. The auditorium's got some issues, and as we said at our last joint meeting, if we don't do something up there, you know, that building's probably going to come down in the next 5 to 10 years, which would be a shame to lose that auditorium in this county. But so Sid has been talking to some heating and air folks, the roof. I think it's got some stuff on the seating. So I'll turn it over to Mr. Carrier. So thank you.
Mr. Beasley. As Mr. Beasley said, we discussed a few things at our last joint meeting, and those things that we discussed was roof, new heat and air, maybe some drop ceiling. That ceiling's so high, so we talked about maybe lowering it some, and of course the seating. With the roof, price come in at $164,800. That's a TPO membrane roof with a 20-year warranty. The HVAC, which would probably go with heat pumps, and that'd be dual units, that's coming in at $250,000. Auditorium ceiling, which was recommended, was an acoustical wood system. It'll kind of lay in like a drop ceiling, but it'll have the wood look and feel to it. And it's going to come in at $180,000. Auditorium seating, if we go with the fabric seats that's kind of there now, part of them, you're looking at $200,000. And if we decide to go with plastic seats, that drops it down to $120,000. So if you total all that up, you're at $914,800.
I will say on the seating, I'm sorry.
You've got some money, actually.
Yeah, the Friends of the Auditorium raised funds for the seating, and at that time probably would have done that, but that's been a few years ago. But we have $55,000 sitting in a line right now in our budget for that seating that we just sitting on. We're not going to spend it on anything else. That's what it was designated for. That's what the donors designated it for. It's been real specific about that, and so that 55 can only be spent on that. So it would drop the cost down around 55. And I'll say this too. Right now, we're not currently really able to use that auditorium. We don't have any heat in it. We can't cut the radiators on with as many leaks as we have.
We struggled during Christmas, during that cold weather. We struggled to keep the heat on during that time. And honestly, if it's not being used, the heat's off. And we've repiped a bunch and spent a bunch on that old furnace. So unless it's being used, it's not being run. Any questions?
Yeah, I've got one on the seating. Is that done by the state prisoners, or is that a private?
That's an option. This is just a budget price from Pinnacle Architect, and we could go different routes on that. It basically depends on what style you want, and yeah, we can get pricing from different places.
the cloth seating that's there now, I believe, didn't that come from the state prison system?
May have. It's been a while, I think.
It's been over 20 years. It's been over 20
it's been
years
a while.
ago. Yeah.
It's been a good while.
They're in good
That
shape.
was
But
just basically material.
I think they just covered what was there, if I'm not mistaken, the wooden seats, and they just covered them in fabric.
Right. But there was no labor charge, was there?
That's been so long ago, I can't remember, but that does sound right. They do a lot of work like that. They do.
Thank you.
Other comments or questions on any of that?
Thank you.
again, you know, we want to thank you for just letting us come and share with you tonight. And, you know, we need to keep this communication going, keep these quarterly meetings going. I want to keep you updated as far as where we're at on this construction project. And, you know, it's been a slow process right now, but we do hope to, I'd love to have the blueprints finished sometime in March. And if we do that, we can send it out for bid, and if things work out, it would take quite a few dollars to do. I don't say it's in bad shape, but it's not. This gym, like I said, and it's got a new entrance. Parking down here, we may lose a little bit, but we've got spaced out for about. Where when you go in this door right here, you're in the school. From this building to this building, from this building, there's a covered bridge there to get over here through to this gym. Much safer in this environment we live in right now. So,
Any questions? Michelle?
I have a question about the auditorium.
okay.
Did you get any help from the
Not for the auditorium, we didn't. We had to, the stairs that had collapsed in each hallway in the 7th and 8th grade building, those had to be fixed. We had some cracks and breaks, but, you know, the damage mainly in the auditorium were cracks. The radiators are 70 years old, and so that's the biggest issue with the heating problem there. We repair them. You can't get parts for them. We wrap them rubber hoses, and it's one leak right after another. You know, we've had engineers look at it. Actually, and I will say this: I met with the new director about the earthquake relief. I met with him this morning. We went up to the tennis courts. We have a retaining wall up there that's got to be repaired. We got tennis courts that've got to be repaired, but the money that we were allotted originally was about $600,000, and we only have $90,000 left of that. So with that $90,000 we have right now, we've got 2 crushed drain lines in our cafeteria that have to be repaired. So the health department don't shut us down. She's going to let us Band-Aid it as soon as we can, as soon as we get to spring break. We're hoping Mr. Carey and his crew can get in there, but to fix it properly, the whole floor in the kitchen has to be ripped out to be redone. So we're trying to hold off. If this high school goes through, then we'll be okay. But we're going to use that $90,000 to repair that, and then we'll have to get some engineer drawings for that retaining wall, because it's not a simple fix right now. They're afraid if once the wall comes down, the whole bank may come down with it. And so, yeah. But but I say that also too, that I've sent him the pictures of what it originally looked like. I sent him the engineering files that we have, that he's going to go through all that with all the repairs that still need to be made that haven't been made. He's going to request some more money from the General Assembly, and so I'm searching ways to find some money to fix those things, you know, without having to. And he felt pretty good about it, but right now with the $7 million sewer project, that's going on. He said they were at near the end of the 23 million. They didn't have enough to fix that part of it. So, but he's got our engineer report too. He's looking at that for the school, for the auditorium, and for Sparta School as well. So,
I think Timmy's got a question. Timmy.
On the auditorium,
Yeah.
and this may be a crazy question, stupid question, but again, I'm learning.
Yeah.
When the auditorium's always talked about is separately from the Sparta School. So, like, it's my understanding, like the state helps maintain like your school buildings and stuff. Correct? Am I correct?
State.
Yeah. Does the state help?
The maintaining of schools is through the county commissioners.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Capital projects, local
Okay.
expenditures.
Well, see, I told you it's probably separate. So, learn something then. Okay.
Yeah. That's why we're talking about it, because, yeah.
Greg?
That's a building we don't need to live
Yeah.
in. There's not one in the state.
What are you thinking this school building is gonna come in at? Can we do it?
We figured, when we were planning it, we were, at that time, public schools were being built for about $300 a square foot, and community college is about 400, and university is about 500. So, if we do that, we think it may come in around between 42 and 47 million. So,
How many square foot's that gonna be?
that's a good question, Greg. I wish I had them in front of me, but I would say this, it's designed to Department of Public Instruction specs. Nothing's any bigger, but nothing's any smaller either. If it's classroom that's supposed to be 850 square feet, that classroom's 850 square feet, so.
Now, when you get this built, is that including desks, cafeteria stuff?
Cafeteria, yes. Yeah, equipment. The company that we work with, the Child Nutrition, they were able to do some of that cost, especially for the stoves, freezers, refrigerators, all that. Yeah, they'll be a part of that. They can help pay for that piece. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't include. This is a building cost. That's it. It's a building
outside the
cost.
land, grading.
Yeah. The grading, parking, paving, all that's included in that cost. But yeah, none of the furniture will not be. Now, we do have some new technology in that building that we've put in, like the wireless drops and those types of things. We'll be able to take those out, move them, and put them back in the new building while it's being built. But
While this being built, are we still gonna have the old one running so they can still keep having school?
yes, yeah. What our plan is, it'll be a couple phases. So once we'll be able to get students in there class. Start with this. Our last phase will be the Career and Technical Education Center. I've talked with Dr. Cox with Wilkes already, so we're in the process of making some plans there of being able to use the BDC down there. But it's going to be tricky, but I think we can get it done. But yeah, we're not going to stop school. We can't.
Go ahead.
So, if you get all these numbers back and you are running close to 47, then what?
Then what?
Yeah.
We'll come to you guys. But I'll say this, Mr. Evans. That's $47 million right now. Ain't costing taxpayers a dollar. You ain't got to pay any of it back. Let's say you had to come up with $10 million. Where can you build a new high school nowadays for $10 million? You can't. I mean, you can't. And I'll just, when this project is complete, that high school is going to be over 60 years old right now. And would love for you guys to come up and we'll tour you and just kind of show you what it looks like right now. And so if you want to see cracks between walls and floors 6 to 8 inches wide, I'll show them to you. If you want to see, you take some of the metal off that building, bricks will start falling off of it. We can use it, but it's not going to be around for long, And so if you wait another 10 years to try to do this project, I don't know where you'd come up with $80 million. Just to be honest with you. Yeah.
How long is this project gonna take?
3 to 5 years.
So y'all could use the Wilkes Community College building, Troutman building for classrooms if you needed to for 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
we sure can.
something to keep in mind.
Yeah, yeah, sure can. So,
Jimmy?
So we'll take it a step at a time.
Yeah.
and that's what we're doing. That's why we want. That's why we want to keep meeting with you guys, and I want to keep you updated and just let you know where we're at. So, but
Will you have school and trailers too? Will you have to bring in mobile trailers?
I hope not, but we may. You know, we really don't have the room for it. One of our biggest problems we're going to meet is parking, and but we do have the practice field. We've got that area, the area beside the central office, up from NAPCO where they've built. That is our land. But when we start putting the AstroTurf on this summer, when we take that dirt off, that's going to start filling that area in too. Once we get that filled, we want to get that paved and get it set up for parking. Even if we don't get it paved, if we put gravel on it, that will give us some extra parking too. We've got a little extra space that I've talked to Rocky about that we may be able to use, and then we could shuttle kids back and forth when they park down there, or we can park some down at Sparta too and shuttle kids. We could use some very little mini buses to do that. So, yeah.
Any questions?
No questions.
Mr. Carter? School board, do y'all have any comments?
Like a once in a lifetime opportunity. We're all very excited to see it happen. We're blessed to be able to have the opportunity. You know, student school rank. A new high to them opportunity as a school to be excited as well. Beasley has worked very hard on this for a long time. He and the staff really have.
I think if you look at, as far as I can remember, there's never been this amount of money spent in Allegheny County, $47 million. That's,
It's almost hard to believe.
That's not counting. Field for
keeps our high school.
It's not just the next generation, but the generation after that and the generation after that. You know, it takes a huge burden off of this county for the next 50 years. I mean, that's my personal opinion, but I do believe that. I mean, that this takes a large burden off. You know, but it's got to be a joint commitment from all of us, and so you know that's why we want to continue working with you. But I thank y'all for letting us come tonight. We're going to go into recess because we've got to go back to central office and take care of some personal. If you guys don't have anything else, and I'll touch base with Mr. Carter, and maybe the next one we may have it up at the old high school, and so if it works out. So
Thank you for coming. Thank you, board, for coming, and
Thank you for having us.
continue your meeting.
Thank you all very much.
emotion.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good evening.
Thank you.
Well, we'll go eat one morning.
I agree. It is going to take a burden off, but we don't need to be adding more burden either. We'll see when they come back to numbers. Get a step at a time.
Maybe 2 or 3 visits.
Well, we have
Go
to the meeting.
we'll, we're just about right on time for our normal meeting, and I believe there's a few people that want to speak public comments, but I think they're standing out in the hall. If I'll ask them to come in if they still want to speak. Just you, Alan? Okay, we'll open this session to public comments. We have one citizen. We've got about stay as close to 3 minutes as you can. I'll let you know when you get close. So go ahead, Al.
I'm Alan Sadler from Piney Creek. I'm here tonight to have you discuss the landfill situation. We farm in Piney Creek, and when we took our first load of farm trash to the dump this year, we were told we were going to have to pay, and we never paid in the past. And we inquired after that, and we found no answers on who said you had to pay or when you started paying. So I contacted all the commissioners, and no one had any knowledge of this or when it started or how it got started. And I'd like y'all to consider not charging farmers for their trash. We have baleage, we have net wrap, we have plastic. It all goes in the dump trailer. We come about once a month, and we put our household trash in there too to save coming to town. So it's an inconvenience not to be able to do that. And we just feel like the farmers shouldn't be charged for their trash. And several other farmers that I contacted felt the same way, but it's hard to get everybody together on a nice day like today to come down here. So appreciate your consideration.
Thank you, Al. Appreciate that.
Mr. Chairman, could I ask a question?
Sure.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Is that plastic recyclable? I know whenever you and I talked on the phone, you said you'd check it.
Where it is recyclable. The cardboard box it comes in.
Thank you.
With that being said, does anybody else have a public comment? Nobody else outside? Bradford? Okay. I'll go ahead and close. First up is general business. If you look at your agenda, this is a little bit changed from what we have been. This is general business, and this is for information. And first up is Commissioner Greg Walker.
I'd like to ask our maintenance manager to come over here and explain the landfill situation Alan was just asking about. I mean, maybe you can help us out a little bit, Alan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Board. On this is a definition of agricultural waste, and the definition of agricultural waste is stalks and stems and things that is grown in direct relation to raising of animals. Now, everything that we bring into the transfer facility must be taken to the landfill, which is located in Caldwell County. We have a charge for that, which we have a waste fee tax that we charge the citizens of Alleghany County for residential trash, which is the $98 a year that entitles you to bring your household waste to the transfer facility. We also have residential and or business related properties that's in the county for an additional $60 a year, which is total of $158 that you can bring your trash in, and you bring your trash in, and that's the only charge that you have as far as that goes. So we have several businesses in the county. They do pay that extra $60 a year in order to bring their trash into the facility as far as that waste goes. Our waste stream Bale wrap, we don't mind taking bale wrap. Bale wrap is fine. The plastic wrap, it's a little bit cumbersome. The net wrap, it's okay and doesn't weigh a lot, but it is a nuisance. It gets wrapped up in the loader, and it's those guys have to crawl up under that thing and cut it out. So if the waste is brought in and packaged, why, certainly that could be a consideration. But as far as what we do, we accept, we charge for construction waste, we charge for the pallets, we charge for the brush. All those is extra charges because they cost the county in order to dispose of. So, we do the best we can and try to save as much money as possible. And, it's kind of like the earthquake stuff. It was all about the citizens. This is all about the citizens. But the citizens needs to help us and understand that we're doing the very best we can with what we have to work with. And, it's 100 times better than it was 4 years ago. But we're looking to make some more improvements. But as far as that goes, agricultural waste, there is a definition for that. Barns and fencing and all those things is going to come in as construction material. Those have to be charged for as well. But as far as that goes, if we so choose, we already have that in the fee schedule, in the fee structure. That extra $60 a year, bring in as much as you want. So
Greg's still up, John.
So the farmers could bag up that hay wrap and all and throw it in a bag, and when nothing be said, wouldn't be charged for it.
Right. It needs to be where it's contained. Would be and that's part of it, but it doesn't weigh that much, and it's not like a bundle that comes off of a bale.
So a farmer can bring anything they want in and pay an extra $50 or $60 a year, and he's no more charge.
Right.
Anybody else got anything? Yeah.
I think my question was answered, Mr. Southern. That sounds like the plan there.
Yeah, we just wondered who implemented it.
Yeah.
Tell us who that.
In December for $1,000. Approved steps that advertise the day will be.
They've met all the qualifications, the checks.
They don't have to make a deposit.
Questions? Greg,
This
Timmy?
is-
John, go ahead.
Is this $1,000 a lot for the 3 lots, or
It's total.
the 3 lots 1,000?
Yes.
How big are the lots?
Commissioners can also bid on this if they want to upset it.
We got time.
Oh, yeah.
That's the reason it needs to be advertised.
Yeah.
Because people out in the community say, oh my gosh, somebody's getting this for $1,000.
The other question I've got, it says 1 parcel per bid sheet. So we should have 2 more, should we not? You not combine parcels if bidding on multiple properties. That's 3 lots.
I'll bring it up here in a minute on the screen. Yeah. Heather's looking at it.
Three parcels.
It's 1 parcel.
Oh, 1 parcel.
The one up close to Piney Creek School.
They got 14,000 in tax assessments. Maybe we should bid, Bob.
So 3 pieces are
3 lots.
0.55 acres? Oh, I'm looking at the top one.
Looking at all three of them. It's the bottom one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The bottom one, okay. 2 acres, yeah.
Heather, we okay, or?
It may be 3 lots, but it's considered one parcel because it has one parcel ID number. It's not taxed separately for all 3.
Okay, all
It was